You ever notice how uncomfortable silence feels? Like the second you're not doing something, your brain starts panicking. You reach for your phone, open YouTube, check your messages, anything just to fill the space. It's almost like rest has become something we have to earn. Like being still means we're failing. We live in this weird time where being busy isn't just normal, it's a flex. Everyone's always working on something, grinding, on their purpose. It sounds good, it even feels good sometimes. But deep down, I think we've all felt that thing where you can't sit still because your mind starts getting loud. The kind of loud that reminds you of all the things you haven't done yet, or the stuff you've been ignoring. That's the thing about busyness. It makes us feel safe. Because as long as we're doing something, we don't have to feel something. It gives us this illusion of control, like we're building towards something, even if half the time we're not sure what that something even is. And when you finally stop, like actually stop, it's almost like withdrawal. You don't know what to do with yourself. I don't think we're addicted to work itself. I think we're addicted to avoiding stillness. Because stillness means awareness. It means facing your thoughts. It means realizing you don't have everything figured out. And that's terrifying. So we stay busy. We stack our days with things that make us feel useful or important, or at least distracted. And we tell ourselves that's progress. But sometimes it's just avoidance dressed as productivity. There's actually a name for this. Psychologists call it avoidance coping. Basically, when people don't want to deal with certain emotions, they find ways to fill their time so they don't have to think about them. And in a world that rewards non-stop motion, it's easy to confuse distraction for discipline. You get praised for it. People tell you how inspiring your work ethic is, and you start believing it too. Until one day, you realize you can't even relax without feeling guilty. It's strange, right? We talk about burnout like it's a symptom of working too hard, but sometimes it's just the result of never stopping long enough to feel. We don't realize how addicted we've become to movement until we're forced to slow down. Like when you finally take a weekend off, and instead of feeling recharged, you feel restless, anxious, maybe even a little empty. That's not laziness. That's withdrawal from the constant stimulation we've built our identity around. It's not even about work anymore. It's validation. It's identity. It's the feeling of, if I'm not doing something, I'm nothing. And that's dangerous. Because if your self-worth depends on your busyness, then rest feels like failure. You can't win. You either exhaust yourself or hate yourself for not being exhausted. And I get it. We've built a culture that romanticizes the grind. We idolize people who never stop. We look at them and think, that's what it takes. But what we don't see is the quiet panic that comes with it. The fear that if they stop, even for a second, everything they've built will collapse. But maybe the real reason we're so afraid of slowing down is because we've tied our sense of purpose to productivity. If I'm not busy, then who am I? Sometimes I think about how weird that is. How we've made being tired sound like an achievement. Like saying, I'm so busy, automatically earns you respect. When did exhaustion become a personality trait? When did we start confusing busyness for meaning? The truth is, being busy gives us an excuse not to think too deeply about anything else. It keeps us from asking the harder questions, like, do I even like what I'm doing? Am I running towards something or just away from something else? Because that's the quiet part of this whole thing. We're not afraid of doing nothing. We're afraid of what doing nothing shows us. And here's the paradox. We fill every second trying to feel alive, but in doing that, we end up feeling numb. Like life becomes a checklist. Wake up, grind, scroll, sleep, repeat. We're so busy trying to not waste time that we end up wasting our lives. Maybe that's why stillness feels so uncomfortable, because it's honest. It doesn't let you hide behind fake progress or noise. It forces you to sit with yourself, to see what's really there when the dopamine fades and the notifications stop. And for a lot of people, that's scarier than failure. I think real productivity isn't about doing more. It's about understanding why you're doing it. Like, are you actually building something that matters to you, or are you just keeping yourself too busy to notice that you're unhappy? Because there's a big difference between growth and escape. They just look similar when you're in motion. We chase full calendars and end up with empty minds. We chase goals so we don't have to think about direction, and we call it ambition. But sometimes it's just fear of stillness. Fear that if we slow down, we'll have to confront what's actually going on inside us. So maybe the point isn't to stop being busy. Maybe it's to understand what that busyness is protecting you from. Because once you see it, you can finally choose what deserves your time and what's just keeping you safe from silence. And maybe then, rest won't feel like guilt. It'll feel like clarity.